Hello and welcome to Coffee Chat with Jody Myciak. And if you're celebrating Christmas, it's happening in a couple days. Are you excited? Are you ready? Are you stressed out? Not sure? And if you're celebrating another holiday, how are things going for you as well? Please comment. We're not live, but I will read them. So grab your coffee or tea and let's chat. So, today we're talking about self-love. Now, we talked about self-care last week, and they do definitely go hand in hand together. So it just made sense to talk about self-love today. So, I'm going to talk about what self-love is and really how to reconnect with yourself again. And give a little bit of thought, and maybe you can give yourself the best gift ever this year, this holiday season. The gift of loving you, knowing that you're enough, and falling in love with you again if it's been a while. So, what exactly is self-love? Well, self-love is loving yourself enough, knowing that you are worthy, knowing that you're enough, and loving who you are right now. And why I say self-care and self-love go hand in hand is because when you know you're worthy, you know who you are, and you know that you love yourself, self-care just kind of follows through. It may not be an everyday thing, but you put yourself ahead of other things. You're up there on the top of the list because you know you deserve it, you know you're worthy, and you know you're enough. You don't feel guilty. And I'm not saying, it's not putting your kids, like ignoring your kids, but it's knowing that you matter too. And when you do things for you, it's benefiting your children. I'm not saying like leave your kids at home by themselves and like go off and do things, but it's making time for you and scheduling it in. The best way to make sure that there's time for you is putting it in your calendar. Me time. I mentioned last week that I actually have date night with me. Once a week, I schedule a date night with myself. I do it with my husband and I do it with me. Those are two of the most important relationships in my life other than my kids. And my kids are very young, so I see them very often. And I even make sure that I'm fully there for them and put everything down and really forget about my to-do list for a while. So I'm very present with my children as well. So it's making sure that each relationship, meaning your kids, your husband or spouse or partner, and yourself are all taken care of. But knowing who you are, self-love, self-worth. Some people I don't even know who I am. I don't know if I love myself, I don't know what I love about myself. I actually struggled with this myself, knowing that I was enough, that I was worthy. My whole childhood, or most of what I can remember, sure when I was really little, because we always know who we are when we're really little. You look at any toddler, they know that they're loved, they know that they're worthy, they know who they are, they know what they want, and they'll tell you about it. They know. And then as the years go on, we're told we can't do this, or that we're not smart enough, we're not pretty enough. You can't do that. You're a girl. And we start believing everybody else instead of ourselves. And we fall from the wayside, and we don't think we're enough anymore. So self-love is giving you, or knowing that you are enough, and you give yourself that time to be with you. And it's really, it's knowing who you are and being okay with who you are at this moment. So I mentioned that as a kid, I had a hard time. I didn't know I was worthy. I spent a huge chunk of my life, teenage years, 20s, my early 20s, going after guys. Guys I didn't even really know, but guys that I thought, hey, if they liked me, they dated me, I'd be enough. That I was actually going to be worth something. And then I finally found it. But it was not from outside of myself. It was from within. I realized that the love I was looking for was me. You can't love somebody else unconditionally until you love yourself. Unconditionally. That's no judgment. You just love because you love who they are. Because you know you're enough. You're not looking outside of yourself judging other people because you don't feel worthy enough. You look at people like, and you get, this is what happens when people bring us down. They tear us down because they want to make themselves feel better because they don't feel enough. That's what happens. I'm not saying accept it. It's not acceptable. But that's what happens when people are hurting inside. They're hurt. They're like not damaged, but hurting inside. So, if you journal, I'd love you to grab your journal, or you can journal after this video. And if you don't, then maybe think about getting one, because journaling's amazing, and we can touch base in another coffee chat if that is something that if that you want to know a little bit more about journaling and the benefits. We can definitely talk about that in the new year. So, what is it that you love about yourself? The good, the bad, the ugly. What is it you love right now? What do you love about you? Look at yourself. Take yourself out of your side of your shoes and pretend you're your best friend looking at you. What would your best friend see? Because here's the thing, we have a harder time looking at our amazingness the way others see us. We just see our faults as faults and not as blessings or talents. So take yourself out of your own shoes and pretend that you're your best friend looking in. What would you say if you were your daughter? Look at you from a different standpoint. Look at your talents. So I am going to share a couple things that I love about myself. I love all the mistakes I've made in my life. They have brought me to where I am today. I have, yes, done many mistakes. Failures, they all happen to teach us things. If it wasn't for certain things that I've done, I would not be here today. Some people looking at my life be like, wow, she did this, what a failure. Or, who knows what other people are saying about us. Because again, it's about them more than it really is about us when they judge us. But yes, I went to fashion design school, and I have used it a little bit. I had a business with designs, but it's really hard to start that up with a very little capital. It's a learning curve. It's something I learned. But if I didn't go to fashion design school, I would not have met one of my best friends. And yes, I put out a lot of money, and I had a lot of school loans. But I am still using today some of those things that I've been taught. And it gave me a chance to move out of my parents' house, and live on my own. Everything in my life I'm very thankful for, I'm grateful for, because it's who I am today. So again, I love all my mistakes. Or they're not even mistakes, they're just things that happen that's changed the course of my life. And today I'm a master empowerment coach doing what I love. Helping women. And it's so amazing. I also love the fact that I'm short. Yes, I love that I'm short. It took me many years. I always wanted to be 5'9", 5'1", and if you're really like 5'1 and a half. So, I love it. I love being short. I don't hit things in the head. I don't have to duck. And I look really cute beside my husband. Those are just a couple things that I love about being short. And I love that I'm a lifetime learner. That I'm always going to be constantly looking for something to learn. Something new. Growth. always learning, discovering new things, videoing. I am learning every single time I do coffee chat something new about Facebook Live, videoing, cameras, all that stuff I'm learning. And with being an entrepreneur, I even have more to learn. Constant learner. Just finished, becoming a master empowerment coach. Next step is like, what else can I do to really round out who I am and give back so much? I also am I love that I've realized that being perfect is not something to strive for. It will just make us feel less worthy. Life is not perfect. People aren't perfect. We're humans. We're not designed perfect. And it's about being who you are, being authentic. I spent so many of my years pretending to be somebody else. Pretend I was perfect. I could fit into any crowd, any circle of friends, because I would change who I was to fit in. Now, I just show up as me. And if people don't like it, that's okay. It's me. I'm coming to be me. I'm not being mean or anything. I'm just me. No more masks. No more hiding. No more lying. It really just, in the end, hurts ourselves. When we know who we are and we love who we are, we don't have to hide anymore. We don't have to lie anymore. We can just show up as who we are. So what do you do if you don't feel worthy, if you don't feel self-love? Because here's the thing, you might not have felt this at all, or you don't remember at all. Maybe it stems back to when you're little. Do you remember what you loved about yourself when you were little? Before people told you that you couldn't do things, that you weren't worthy. Is there something that you remember really bringing you down, making you feel worthless? Figuring out where that happened and falling in love with you again. Because you're worthy. Your talents. What are you good at? What do you love to do? If you ask other people in your life what you're good at, what would they say? It's really figuring out from a different perspective if you have a hard time with figuring out what you love. What is it? And it could be that you're a really good mom, a really good sister, a really good wife. It starts with there and you go. So after this video, I encourage you to go to the mirror and look at yourself. I love my freckles. I love my fair skin. Those are two things I had a really hard time when I was little, or when I was even like teenagers, when I say little. I had a hard time with that. I love who I am. Now, saying that I love who I am is like, yay, I love who I am, and that's great. Loving who you are right now is amazing, and that's the first step. And it's just be like, I love who I am, and I'm just going to sit on the couch in my sweats all day or all month or whatever it may be and just stuff my face. Self-love is knowing that you're enough, which means taking care of yourself. Knowing that you're worthy enough to eat food to support your body. We only get one body. It means working out or like going for walks. It's not even working out. Physical activity. Doing things for your body because you know you're enough. We only get one body. Our spirit only gets one body. So we need to treat it well. It's knowing that we're enough. We don't have to stuff it with food all the time. Half the time when we eat, it's a matter of we're stuffing our feelings down. We're eating our feelings. I'm not saying a cookie here or there is not a bad thing, but it's really knowing that you're worthy enough to take care, to learn, to grow. You are enough for all these things. So, what do you love about you? What makes you you? Really think about that. I'd love you to share. Please join Coffee Chat with Jody Myciak. Share what does you love about you? And just take part and read. When you share out loud, it's a private Facebook group, so no one reads it other than us. A small community of coffee chat people. Come share. When we share, it really just throws it out to the universe, and it's really good to share. Or if you're not ready there, share it in your journal. Write it down so only you can see. So I'd like to leave you in hopefully in a really nice, lovely place. And I would like to just let you know that next week, again, is going to be pre-recorded. And it's going to be about making 2017 the best year yet. It's about making New Year's resolutions. Is it something you do? Something you don't do? I'm going to share with you what I do and why I do it and how it's helpful for me. And I encourage you to comment and share what you like to do and what works for you, what doesn't work for you. And I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a happy holiday from my house to yours. And enjoy your coffee or tea. Until next week, have a lovely week. And again, Merry Christmas, happy holiday.